Quiet people are often thought of as shy and nervous. But quiet people aren't necessarily shy, and they're definitely not always nervous. There's more to being quiet than that, and it turns out that there are many good things about being a quiet person. Here are some interesting psychological facts about what makes a person quiet. 1. Quiet people are patient. Quiet people are patient. They don't get easily irritated or upset, which can make them seem low-key and relaxed while they wait patiently for their time to shine. Quiet people are often described as cool under pressure. This can be especially helpful in situations where you're expected to speak up or make a decision quickly. In fact, quiet people tend to be very good listeners. They don't interrupt others during conversations and are happy to let others do the talking. They also tend not to show their emotions unless there's a reason for it, for example, if someone is being hurtful. 2. Quiet people are good writers. If you are a quiet person, you have probably found that writing is a great way to express yourself and organize your thoughts. Writing helps the quietest of us focus on one thing at a time, and it even gets our thoughts out of our heads. If you're someone who struggles with conversation or talking in front of crowds, try blogging or journaling. You might discover that this is something you can do better than speaking to others, and it will give other people insight into who you are as well. 3. Quiet people are what they are, not how they act. You might think someone who is quiet is always quiet. You'd be wrong. Quiet people can sometimes be loud, and loud people can sometimes be quiet. It all depends on the situation and their current mood. Just because someone is quiet doesn't mean they are not speaking, it just means that they cannot speak at that moment, but they may have something to say later on another day when the conditions are right for them to put forward their opinion or viewpoint in a way that makes sense to everyone else around them. 4. Quiet people can be assertive when they need to be. When quiet people do speak up, it's an event. A few words are said and then the conversation moves on. But those words have weight because of their rarity. When you don't speak often, your thoughts and feelings can be more powerful because no one else has had a chance to dilute them yet. 5. Quiet people don't talk just to hear themselves speak. You've probably noticed that quiet people are more likely to listen than they are to talk. They're also more likely to be interested in what other people have to say, and they may even be bored if someone is just making noise without saying anything important. Quiet people can be very good at listening because they don't feel the need to show off their own ideas or opinions when there's something interesting going on around them. 6. Quiet people prefer their own company. People who are quiet prefer their own company. This is true for all people, but it's more pronounced in the case of quiet people, who usually like to be alone and think about things without being disturbed by other people. They have a lot of thoughts to process, which they need time and privacy to do. Quiet people can also recharge their batteries by spending time alone as they get tired after spending too much time around people or socializing. For quiet people, small talk is not something they enjoy. Instead, you will find them engaged in deep conversations with friends or family members on topics that interest them most, be it politics or art. 7. Quiet people don't always like being in the spotlight. Don't let a quiet person's reserve fool you. They may not be the center of attention, but they're often very aware of everything that's going on around them. They have an excellent understanding of social cues and body language. This enables them to read situations subtly, which allows them to avoid making mistakes or saying the wrong thing. If you're speaking with a quiet person in a group setting, keep your voice at a normal volume while still being audible to those around you. This will help ease the pressure on your conversation partner by letting them know that their input is important and valued by others as well as yourself. 8. Quiet people are more than just shy, they're often introverted too. Quiet people are often introverted. Quiet people are often shy, self-conscious, and private. Quiet people also tend to be reserved, thoughtful and non-confrontational because they don't like to start arguments or get into conflicts with others. In addition to being quiet, these individuals may have a tendency toward anxiety and depression as well. This is because they have an internal locus of control. They believe that the outcome of their lives depends on them rather than external forces like luck or fate. 9. Not all quiet people want to be heard all the time. There are many reasons why people may be quiet. Some of them may be shy and introverted, while others may not be. Some people have a tendency to avoid confrontation and conflict, but that doesn't necessarily mean they have low self-esteem or are suffering from social anxiety disorder, SAD. There are also those who are just quiet by nature and don't like being the center of attention all the time. Regardless of whether your friend is shy or just naturally quiet, there is no denying that it can be frustrating when trying to get them motivated about something you care about. It can be especially hard if you're trying to convince someone who is already against what you want them to do because either their values don't align with yours or they think you're wrong about whatever subject matter it is that's causing this conflict between friends in the first place. 10. If a quiet person doesn't speak much, it doesn't mean that they're shy or worried about what other people will think of them. If a quiet person doesn't speak much, it doesn't mean that they're shy or worried about what other people will think of them. They may be introverted and prefer to listen rather than talk, or they may simply be in the mood for quiet conversation. It's important not to assume that just because someone is quiet means they're shy or nervous all the time. This idea is rooted in societal stereotypes about people who don't speak up as much as others do. All quiet people do have characteristics in common, but we'd only think so if we didn't know them well enough to see them as unique individuals.